Hey everyone, welcome back to Well, That's Strange. So, in this video, I'm going to discuss the time that I had a ghost girl in my apartment. Now, I think this all started when I used a ghost hunting app on my phone in someone else's house, and then that same night when I returned to my own place and I was conducting a tarot card reading because I used to read tarot cards, I recorded this reading for a client, and I always review my recordings before I send them out. So when I did, I saw little white orbs above the cards. I had never seen them before in the years that I was reading cards. I hadn't seen that before. And I just thought that that was quite a coincidence that the time that I decided to use a so called ghost hunting app is when that shit happens. Now, the next thing that happened, kind of fast forwarding here to, I don't know if it was that same week or not, I believe it was, I started to notice something in my home. And the first thing that I noticed was when I was in the bathroom. I remember this very vividly. I was in the bathroom and I had the door open because I was fixing my hair or brushing my teeth or something. And I was living alone at the time. And I remember looking back towards the doorway of the bathroom. And for a split second, I had seen a girl. And when I say girl, what I really mean is in a teenage girl, someone that looked like they were in their teens, albeit late teens. So uh, this is exactly what I saw. I saw again late teens. I would say maybe she was about 5'4" or so. She had a white gown on, and when I say gown, I mean a nightgown specifically. It didn't look contemporary. It looked like it was from the 1800s, possibly the early 1900s. And so, besides that, I remember, again, for a split second, I'm seeing all of this. Her face was heavily distorted. Imagine a face, and when you look at that face, it appears to be a spiral in the face, like the face is spiraling into itself. It is a complete distortion of a human face. So that indicated to me, because what's happening within is reflected on the outside of the person, is this was an extremely disturbed entity, extremely, for her to have manifested this particular way. So anyways, that was one instance, and then another one was when I was out of town, and my sister was living with me. Fast forwarding a couple of months after that first incident that I mentioned, she lived with me, and she moved herself in with her daughter, and she was occupying one of the rooms. And I remember that she sent me a message when I was out of town with a friend. She said, "You got to see this," and she sent me a video of her little dog, a chihuahua, that was barking into the hallway at nothing. There was nothing there, but that dog was barking. So that was all the confirmation I needed that there was something in the house. And she's further reaffirming that by saying, "Yeah, there's something in here. There's something in here." And one of the notable things, the most notable thing that I noticed, this was the final straw for me, was when I was sitting by myself at my dining table and I was eating dinner, and I could see this see through, misty looking hand waving right in front of my face. It was unmistakably a hand, but it was see through. And it was like this mist. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. And she was, I'm going to say she because I believe it was her that was just like, hello, like, don't you see me? I'm trying to get your attention. And I was like, screw this. Um, I can't take this anymore. And so I hired, excuse me, a paranormal investigation group. Really, what they do is they don't accept payments. I don't even know if they accept donations. So I don't know that it's accurate for me to say hire, but I'm going to say it in this case. I called them for help, I guess is the more accurate way of putting it. And they do work pro bono. They're out here trying to help the community with their paranormal needs. So I called this group, and two ladies that I know of. That I would say that they're leaning more towards acquaintances, more so than friends, but I've been around them in the past. And so one of them identifies as a witch, and the other one identifies as I don't even know what, but they're both on the team. So they come over and they just said, give us a second. We're going to go ahead and figure out what's going on. So they come into the apartment because it was a two-bedroom apartment. They come in and they're going throughout all the rooms in the house, and they go to the room of which my sister occupied at the time. When the paranormal team came down, my sister had already moved out, and they stayed in that room for a little while, and they come out and they say, look, there's a girl, or more so a young woman around the age of 18 or 19, um, who was violated, who was essayed, if you know what I mean. She was violated quite disturbingly, um, by three men at the time. And I want to say they said early 1900s, late 1800s, somewhere around that time period or that time frame. They had heavily violated her, and they dumped her body after having ended her life. They or deleted her life, I will say that. They deleted her from the face of the earth, and they dumped her body, her body, into a nearby ditch. I hope I don't get censored. I'm trying to make this as censorship friendly as possible, I guess. So, anyways, they said they dumped her in a ditch, and she saw my light, and she decided to follow me. I guess I'm assuming from the ditch, she saw that I was a beacon of light, because I guess there's people that serve as that, like that have a brighter light than others. And those people, including myself, cannot help but draw entities in, for better or for worse, negative or positive. So I drew her in because she just wanted help. She just wanted help, and she didn't know, according to the paranormal investigation team, she didn't know she could cross over to the other side where she can be at peace, because she felt that she was going to be judged by God, that God was going to basically blame her for the violation that took place against her, that took place on her by those men. And it's so sad that she really felt that simply by virtue of being a woman, that she was to blame for all of that, which is insanity to me. Of course, we know nowadays that is not an acceptable reason for a violation of that kind. Just because you're a female does not give someone the right to violate you. Okay, or because you wear certain things, does that give someone the right to mistreat you in any kind of way? That gives no one any right. So, anyways, they helped her cross over, and then that was the end of that. And they told me basically, thereafter, they said, look, you're going to have to regularly protect yourself. And they weren't kidding. They said, you're a light in this world, you're going to draw things towards you, whether you like it or not, or whether you're aware of it or not. So they taught me how to do it. I forgot, I think they said, like, say some prayers over yourself. every day. I think they told me to implement the use of sage for energy clearings for my own body. Um, I want to say the Archangel Michael was thrown into the mix, like to seek out to ask him for protection regularly. I have a nice medallion of Archangel Michael. I love the name Michael. Awesome. But anyways, that's besides the point. Um, they did some like blessing over my home. I vaguely remember them talking about like salt surrounding my home, like or on the window sills. I think they said salt. I think they said like eggshells, crushed eggshells. I want to say. Um, so they said all these things, right? But one thing that stuck out to me was every day you got to protect yourself. This is forever going to be a thing for you. And another thing they said was you could have talked to her yourself. You could have directed her to the light. You technically don't need us. I mean, they said, we're glad that you called us, but moving forward, you technically can deal with these things on your own. I said, well, I didn't know. Like, I'm ignorant. I don't know what I can do or what I can't do in terms of these lost souls or spirits that are here for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what I can do. So they told me, just next time talk to it, reaffirm them that there's light on the other side, to calmly and willingly go into the light where they're going to find peace and they don't have to remain in a state of disturbance or stuck here on the earthly realm, so to speak, anymore. So that was the end of that. But yeah, that's the story of the girl uh, that was in my apartment. I forgot to add that they also said that she liked hiding in the darkness in my home. So, for instance, if the kitchen light was off, she would go into the kitchen where it was dark. If the rooms were dark, she would go into those rooms and stay in there. She didn't want to be seen in the light. She didn't want to be in the light. I guess she felt either comfort in the darkness or she probably didn't feel worthy of the light. But she always wanted to go where it was dark in my home. And I want to say that I remember an instance when I went into the kitchen and turned on the light and I felt like something had left as soon as I turned on the light. Like she didn't want to be seen. And I mean, the most bizarre thing about this is what I saw. Again, a normal looking teenage woman or teenager, late teens, and everything looked normal, like the nightgown. I think she was Caucasian, I don't know. But the most disturbing thing was the way that her face looked. It looked like it came out of a bizarre horror movie where there was no face. It was a complete like um spiraling of the face into itself. It looked not good. And trying to think of anything else if I'm missing anything, but that's pretty much the gist of it. May she rest in peace. And I don't blame her for anything that she felt. And I don't blame her for seeking out help in the only way she knew how. Again, may she rest in eternal peace. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your day to listen to my story about the girl in my apartment. And please feel free to share your comments, opinions, and even your stories in the comments section down below. Please subscribe. Please like my video. And also a friendly reminder to be kind in the comments section. Again, I want this to be an open and safe space for people that are into this kind of stuff, that just want a place where they can openly share their experiences and not feel judged for it. That's my intention. Is, again, I'm going to reiterate, like I did in my other videos, I want the community to gather around and Okay, let's not feel alone in these experiences. Let us come together as a community and share what's going on, and maybe somehow we'll find maybe some resolution out of the discussion, or some relief at the least, or at least gain some knowledge of some sort or awareness. That's what I can only hope for. Whatever happens that's positive out of this, you know, I think it's good for me, and hopefully it's good for everyone else. So, anyways, thanks again, guys. Hope everyone's well and stay safe out there. Take care.